Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This song is called Alice's Restaurant. It's about Alice and the restaurant. But Alice's Restaurant was never the name of the restaurant. It's just the name of the song. That's why this song is called Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. And you can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Well, it all started 45 Thanksgivings ago. 45 years ago on Thanksgiving, when a friend and I went up to visit Alice at the restaurant. But Alice doesn't live in the restaurant. She lives in the church nearby the restaurant in the bell tower with her husband Ray and Facha the dog. And living in the bell tower like that, they got a lot of room downstairs where the pews used to be. And having all that room, seeing as how they took out all the pews, they decided they didn't have to take out their garbage for a long time. So we decided it'd be a friendly gesture for us to take the garbage down to the town dump. So we took the half a ton of garbage, put it in the back of a red VW microbus with shovels and rakes and implements of destruction, and headed on towards the town dump. Well, we got there and there's a big sign and a chain across the road saying closed on Thanksgiving. We had never heard of a dump closed on Thanksgiving before. So with tears in our eyes, we drove off into the sunset looking for another place to put the garbage. We didn't find one. So we came to a side road, and off the side of this side road was another 15-foot cliff. And at the bottom of the cliff was another pile of garbage. We decided that one big pile is better than two little piles, and rather than bring that one up, we decided to throw ours down. That's what we did. Drove back to the church, had a Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat, and went to sleep and didn't get up till the next morning when we got a phone call from Officer Obi. He said, "Kid, we found your name on an envelope at the bottom of a half a ton of garbage. Just want to know if you had any information about it." I said, "Yes, sir, Officer Obi. I cannot tell a lie. I put that envelope under that garbage." And after speaking to him for about 45 minutes on the telephone, we finally came to the truth of the matter and said we had to go down and pick up the garbage. Also had to go down and talk to him at the police officer station. Now, friends, there's one of two things that Obi could have done at the police officer station. And the first thing was he could have given us a medal for being so brave and honest on the telephone, which wasn't very likely and we didn't expect it. And the other thing was he could have bawled us out, told us never to be seen driving garbage around the vicinity again, which was what we expected. But when we got to the police officer station, there was a third possibility we had not even counted upon, and we were both immediately arrested. Handcuffed. And I said, "Obi, I can't pick up the garbage with these handcuffs on." He said, "Shut up, kid. Get in the back of the patrol car," and that's what we did. We sat in the back of the patrol car and drove to the, quote, scene of the crime, unquote. I want to tell you about this town. It's called Stockbridge, Massachusetts, where this is happening. They got 2 stop signs, 3 police officers, and 1 police car. But when we got to the scene of the crime, there was 5 police officers and 3 police cars, being the biggest crime of the last 50 years, and everybody wanted to get in the newspaper story about it. And there's using up all kinds of cop equipment they had hanging around the police officer station. They took tire, plaster, track prints, footprints, dog-smelling prints. They took 27 8x10 colored glossy photographs with circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us. Took pictures of the approach, the getaway, the northwest corner, the southwest corner. That's not to mention the aerial photography. And after that ordeal, we went back to the jail. Obi said, "I'm going to put you in the cell." I want your wallet and I want your belt. I said, Obie, I can understand you wanting my wallet so I don't have any money to spend in the cell. But what do you want my belt for? He said, kid, we don't want any hangings. I said, Obie, you think I'm going to hang myself for littering? Obie said he was making sure, and friends, Obie was, because he took out the toilet seat so I wouldn't hit myself over the head and drown. Then he took out the toilet paper so I wouldn't bend the bars and roll the toilet paper out the window, slide it down the row, and have an escape. Obie was making sure, and it was about 4 or 5 hours later when Alice, remember Alice? This is a song for Alice. Alice came by with a few nasty words to Obie on the side, bailed us out of jail, and we drove back to the church, had another Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat, and went to sleep and didn't get up till the next morning when we all had to go to court. We walked in, we sat down. Obie walked in with the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back each one. He sat down. A man came in, said, all rise. We all stood up, and Obie stood up with the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back each one. And the judge walked in. He sat down with a seeing-eye dog, and he sat down. We sat down. Obie looked at the seeing-eye dog. And then the 27 8x10 color glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back. And then at the seeing-eye dog. And then the 27 8x10 color glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back each one. And then he began to cry. Because Obie came to the realization that it was another typical case of American blind justice, and there was nothing he could do about it. And the judge wasn't going to look at the 27 8x10 color glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us. And we were fined $50 and had to go pick up the garbage in the snow. That's not what I came to tell you about. I came to talk about the draft.